This is part 2 of the video about where your light, your awareness, your consciousness needs to go right now so that you can live your best life and have the most joy, and really just so you can save yourself some trouble, or you can even bring yourself some extra beauty in your life. Okay, so I channeled some messages. If you didn't see the first part, you can go back and watch it now or later. It's up to you. And yes, so I channeled some messages. I wrote them down after a meditation, and I'm going to pull some cards when I need to. I'll probably channel most of the messages though. I'll just continue the channel. And yes, so, and I will try to put markers for the different messages when they can be separated, because not all of them will be able to. So next, the talent. There's a talent that you have. You have many talents, they're saying. There's one talent in particular that you feel like is the talent that you are going to center your life around in a way, or use as a career or something like that. And they're saying that's great. And even for some, that could be a good mission for part of your life. But they really want you to understand that there is a talent that you're missing, that you have very naturally, but you haven't tapped into it because you haven't learned how to do it yet, or you aren't confident in it for a lot of you. But there is another talent that is actually your primary, as far as talents go, and using those talents for the world, your primary mission using a talent is not the talent that you think it is. And it is something else that you probably have known you were good at for a long time, but never learned how to do it. And I know this is for me too, but it's obviously for the collective as well, because I'm just getting a lot of different visuals that are not me. But is that all? Saying I have to center. Thank you, Spirit, for the messages. Anyway, yes, the talent, caught between two good choices. They're saying those are actually two separate messages. Fear stopping their mission. A lot of you, there's two choices that you have, and this could be the talent or it could be something else that are, it's you just have no idea how to decide. It's kind of two of swords, but maybe two of swords and justice, I'm seeing actually, where it's a hard decision. There is a right decision, but you can't see it easily because your emotions are getting in the way. So they're saying that there needs to be some kind of objectivity, some kind of clarity obtained here. Wow, clarity, Queen of Swords. Oh my God, I just had chills because she has clarity. That's her thing. The Queen of Swords has a lot of clarity. She knows how to communicate. She knows how to write. She knows how to listen. Somehow listening will help you. You might be asking for advice. The queens are often about asking for advice, or they are advice. Those are the cards of advice. There's a white cat there. You're in protection and purity. If you set the intention of protecting what's right, or like protecting what's right and true and just for others, then this choice will be clear to you. Maybe one of the choices is about bringing justice to the world in some way, or making sure that things are right for other people and for yourself, but for other people specifically. They're saying a lot of abundance will come to you if you make the right choice, and you're going to make the right choice eventually. But they're trying to save you trouble here, so you don't feel like you've wasted your time. You'll learn important lessons either way. They're saying that none of it will really be a waste of time, but you will be more joyful if you make the right decision here. And the decision is, it might not be clear now, but it will be. It will be very clear. Waiting a little bit, and also intending to release any fears surrounding making the wrong choice, because you will not make the wrong choice. 2222 on the clock right now. Nine of Wands. Seeing enemies where they're not there, but they're saying it's not quite enemies. Seeing problems where they don't exist. That's what's making it unclear here. You're seeing things that aren't actually there in a way. that you're seeing, you're perceiving something as a blockage when actually it's not. It's a redirection. And but you're also perceiving that redirection as saying, no, this is not, that's not the right choice. But it's not that. It's more complicated than that. And again, this whole reading seems to be centered around, you need to set an intention, and you need to trust and let go, and know that the answer, or what you need to know, is going to come to you. And that what this reading here is for is to bring your conscious awareness to whatever it is, so that you have enough information to focus in the right direction, if that makes sense. They're saying I can keep going here. Fear stopping their mission. I think we did that. Crying and loss of control. Yes, I saw someone crying. They felt like they had lost control. I didn't get really far into that because I had some other, the next messages came out. So what do we need to know about this? Maybe you had been crying. I feel like a lot of you do fear losing control. We all do. But I think, okay, I'm getting panic attacks. So some of you might have panic attacks. I'm so sorry. It's really just awful. There's just nobody who, if you have never had a panic attack, just consider yourself lucky. And if you have, then you know that nobody can understand how intensely just the opposite of a good experience. It's just terrible. Fire. You're afraid of losing control. Maybe you're not having a panic attack. Maybe you feel like you're going to have one. Maybe you're afraid that you're going to have a bad experience. And it's cause, and again, there's that indecision from the other portion of the reading. That's like, if I make the wrong choice, then I won't have control over my life. And then we have fire here. What else, Spirit? Thank you, Spirit. Past life. This fear of losing control, this specific, because it's a little bit more specific than that for you, but this fear comes from a past life. And oh my God, I don't really want to get into that because but I see why. There was an image that came to my head. I didn't really want to see it, but there was a past life where, because you were unable to make the right decision, because you didn't have the facts and you didn't know how to tap into your intuition, what you didn't know, it wasn't your fault, but you felt like it was, and you ended up losing yourself, right? And maybe even through a fire. And that's why you might be having a strong reaction to something right now. And it might not even be that. For some of you, it's not. But for all of you who resonate with that, the reason why you're so triggered here is because of the past life. It probably feels like a mystery to you. Mystery solved there. And now because it was from past life, that means that's what karma is. It's these things that we carry from life to life. And if doing a karma cutting like Reiki would be really great. You know who's great? It's Star Reiki. She lives in Spain and she is super, super good. And she has a karmic cutting Reiki. And I swear she's the best. She's so good. And she calls it quantum Reiki. And she uses a lot of different things, but go check her out. But this is a karmic thing anyway that needs to be released. Air. We have fire and air. Ideas, divine masculine. So some of you, this is a fear around men, and it's just something you're gonna have to work through. Oh, some of you need to think about a therapist. If you cannot afford a therapist, there's a great option, and it is ChatGPT. ChatGPT is I don't know if it works without the premium, but there is a custom GPT which you can search on the website, and it is like cognitive behavioral therapy. There's other kinds of therapy I believe available, and it's really good. Of course, it's better to have a person, of course, but if you can't afford it, that's like, I have genuinely discovered some shadows and distortions that I really wasn't aware of, or I never thought of it like that. And it was extremely, extremely helpful. Just the next day, I felt better, just because I guess I was aware of it so I could let it go, and it was just like that. There are these things that we're not aware of, that because we're not aware of, we can't let go. But once we become aware of them, there's so much, it's way easier than we believe to let them go. They're really, really bringing attention here to awareness, and bringing awareness to ourselves. And it can be a process, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a long one. But I would I would try doing some guided meditations, and then also doing meditations just on your own, maybe with some music, maybe with some Reiki, and and setting an intention for the meditation to let go of something once you become aware of it. For a lot of you, you really are going to need to work through it somehow with someone else, probably a therapist or with ChatGPT. The next thing I got was just a phrase. Maybe you've heard it recently, and it's very telling. I don't, is that connected spirit? Yes. I also got the phrase, did you ever stop and think about how it would affect me? I'm also getting variations. Did you ever stop and consider how it would affect me? I almost get like a person who's a little bit manipulative here. And, this, and if it's you that said that, this is not a judgment, because we all have our moments. People love to really make an enemy of the other in readings, especially, but in general for the public. But whether it's you or not, I'm not sure. I don't think that it's important. I think it's, again, just bring your awareness to this and why this is not quite right. It's not quite the way to go about it. And either you need, if you want the relationship to continue and it's somebody else who's doing this to you, then you need to set boundaries. That's what boundaries are for. They're not really for boundaries. A boundary is not necessarily like cutting somebody off and letting them go. I genuinely think that there should be another word for that. I think there is another word for that. I think a boundary is something you put in place to keep a relationship stable, to keep a relationship alive. And so if you want to keep this relationship alive, you need to set a boundary there. And it could be a boundary with yourself. But what do we need to know about this, whatever the situation is, please, Spirit? I might cut this reading into 2, just because I know people don't want to watch super long videos. That flew out. Divinity. Oh, these both keep coming out. And I know why. This is about meditation. What else? Because I'm not sure what that has to do with it. Lucky. This might be about the travel. If you watch the very first message, then this might be about the person you're traveling with. And it might be something that they say. Okay. So if you hear somebody saying this, then for some of you, it's not just a boundary that you're setting. It is letting them go. And that's why they're saying safe travels, I think, because you'll be lucky to get away from whoever this is. I honestly think for some of you, this is not someone that you know well, and it might even be someone you just met. And it's like, they're saying watch for the red flags. So there's some red flags that you might encounter with someone you recently met. Watch for the red flags. They're also saying sometimes people say and do things because they're trying to help you, and they also know that you can do better than what you've done, and maybe this is what you're doing to someone else as well. So your discernment is really needed, because just because someone says something that feels a little toxic, if you know about their intentions, if you ask, you communicate, and and they are willing to tell you their intentions or whatever, the intentions, then it will be easier for you to make that decision. So if you do hear words like this and you feel very strongly that their intentions are negative, or they say something to make it clear that their intentions are negative, or they just don't want to share their intentions, then that would be like, okay, I probably need to get away from this. Okay, this person may be a rich person. I'm getting like somebody who's saying that they're going to take care of you in a relationship, but I would usually say go for it. But this person could be very manipulative and use that finance against you, and it will only, if it doesn't resonate, it's not for you. And I mean, I can't even guarantee that everybody who's in that situation, that this is for them. How can they tell that this is for them if that, you know? And again, it could be a metaphor. Okay, they're saying get a different card. How can they tell if this is for them, please, Spirit? We have the Moon, we have the Magician, and we have the Ten of Emotions. They're going to have a lot of secrets about their family. Okay, I'm not sure. I mean, okay, they're going to have a lot of secrets surrounding their family, or they're going to try to, they're trying not to, they're keeping something from you about their family, and you probably know that they're doing that. They might be refusing to tell you something about their family, even though you're curious or you want to know, and they're like no, and you're like okay. That will be a good tell that that's a person that is not very good for your life. They're going to make promises. They're going to make very grandiose promises, but the entire thing, it's like I see her holding this up, and it's like the entire thing is like she's holding it up in the dark, and she doesn't know, like it's as if there's something very heavy above, and it's not completely equal. And so if she's holding it up in the dark, she can't see like the different parts of what she's holding up, so it's going to get out of balance eventually. And yeah, oh, there's a lot of information being kept secret, and that's how you're going to be able to tell the secret information. But with this, what is it called, a facade of happiness or something, a facade of positivity, almost. Oh, this person might be very, very maybe toxically positive, or they're using positivity as a way to hide their own shadows. And a lot of people do that, and it's not necessarily a bad thing for everyone. I mean, it's not healthy, but it's not necessarily an indicator of someone who's not good for you. But it's just this is how you'll tell. And I want you, I really am being told you really need to think about this with a broader perspective for some of you, because that might be one specific situation, but there's a lot of situations that that's going to kind of fit for. Obviously, it's not going to be a romance, it's not necessarily going to be a rich guy, it's, but the basics will be there. Okay, I have no idea what this means. Just this alone, it's errand boy. I know what it means, but I don't know what it means for you. So they're saying errand boy, and then I heard don't put it off. So there's an errand that you need to run, whether that be literally or not, that you need to do it soon, because either you're not going to be able to do this later, or there's something that you're trying to accomplish that if you don't go, I feel like going outside of your house to get something, or to maybe even just to clear your energy, okay, then it's you're not going to be able to accomplish something that you could accomplish. They're saying some of you don't know that you are going to have a big accomplishment from this. Okay, you don't realize yet. You might be planning on doing something that is fun, or maybe you're just going to try it out, but you don't realize yet that this thing that you do need to do a little bit of work beforehand, go out and get something beforehand or whatever. This thing cannot be put off. It needs to be done now. If you know what it is, stop the video and do it now. Because, and I feel like this is kind of serious for some of you. There's for some of you errand boy, so maybe some of you could have someone do this for you, or you need someone to do it for you. And if there is someone who's like, okay, I'll do this later for you, and you might need to insist. And I hate to say that, because I know you don't want to feel like an imposition, but if that's your case, you might need to insist. In fact, I know this message has something for me right now, and I'm going to, after I get done with this part of the reading, I'm going to have to just come back to this. So let's finish here. What do they need to know about this errand collective? The peacock's tail. This is about, you live in a world that's like black and white, but not only is it black and white, but it's just the entire world has got completely different details than the one than the world you're about to go into. And the world you're about to go into will be not just colorful, not just bright, not, I'm hearing awe-inspiring, but also just completely different. It's like it's not even the same forest anymore. It's just a different place. It's just a better place for you. So you're going into a better place in your life. Some of you are moving homes, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe you need to get some boxes to move homes. Interesting. The wreath is really sticking out to me. So some of this could be a Christmas present you want to get for someone. In that case, it's like this is going to change somebody else's world, or also getting a crown. So it's going to help you feel more like an authority in your life. I'm also seeing a fan there, circulation. If you have, oh my gosh, okay. If there's any issues that you feel like you need to deal with medically, or if you, and especially if you already know that you have any blood pressure issues or anything like that, and if you don't know, if there is zero, if you have no idea about that, then this is not for you. They're saying you would already know that there's a problem if there's a problem. Okay, so it's not a warning or a prediction of a health problem. It's just it's it's a warning that if you don't go regularly to whatever appointments you have, whether it be about circulation or blood or anything like that, or something completely different, you're gonna there's gonna be a problem later if you don't keep on top of it. So health problems, keep on top of them, okay? Please. Anything else? I'm kind of getting somebody almost as if they just hit their head. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think it's just a metaphor. They're like, and everything is a little blurry, and they're not, they're kind of bring it back together. You know. Oh, it's hard to speak a little bit. My throat is getting dry. I almost feel a little okay. I feel a little upset. There's really no reason for that, so I know it's coming from something. So, yeah, if I guess that's just saying we don't want you to get into that place where you feel really upset and caught off guard by something, wind knocked out of you. This could be keeping on top of maintaining a relationship as well, and kind of being, if there's anything that you feel like you need to address in a relationship, now is the time. Okay, because people are unpredictable, and you don't want to be caught off guard by somebody's impulsive choice, or even a choice that they did think about but they didn't involve you in. And they are saying, if that is the case for you, or if that does happen, and I'm not saying it will, if that does happen, then they're saying it isn't fair. There's nothing fair about people making a choice for you when they didn't give you a chance. So yeah, and it might be you. So consider giving somebody a chance before you make a decision about the relationship. Okay, a big decision. Just don't. And I think there's one more thing about this. I hate like saying don't do this, don't do that, because who likes to be told what to do like that? But the don't put it off is for sure. Final message about this, please, Spirit. Lucky. Okay, they want to assure you that there's nothing to worry about here. I was worried about that, because it felt like, oh my gosh, people are going to think something really bad is going to happen. They're saying no. There's like literally the fact that you're listening to this means that that won't happen. The thing that they're saying is that if you hadn't heard this, or maybe you hadn't received it otherwise with your intuition, then the problem would have come from there. Okay, but there might still be a stormy situation, but it's going to end well for you somehow. You're going to be lucky because you're going to be following your guidance. Okay, and you're going to have not put something off that would have been okay. You might be thinking you need to do something. There's no real urgency behind it, or there's no specific urgency behind it, because you don't know like what's going to happen later, but you still feel a little urgency because of your intuition. Do that, because later you're really going to see why, and it's going to save you a lot of trouble. Okay, so spiritual cleansing, all right, that will help you keep clear. I'm also getting messages from my mother. And this is not against her at all, but it's very urgent. She never really texts me like this. I am going to go and I'm going to take care of that. But if somebody sends you a message that seems a little strange, follow up. That's what that's saying. And I'm going to actually tell you about real quick how to set the intention, and just very, yeah. So it's super easy. You just ideally get into a calm, centered place if you can. They're telling me to show you this. So that's safe to, okay. So you can imagine, so this is part one. You don't have to do this. You can imagine white light coming from down, from above, and you can say anything you want to command that light to come down. You imagine it first. It's purifying, it's centering. Okay, you imagine it going through every cell of your body into the earth. You don't have to think too hard or visualize too hard. Just kind of know that it's there. And then you say like something like, descend, light of the universe, sky, descend, Father Sky, light of Father Sky, something like that. Anything you want. Descend, light of purity, light of centering. Okay, yeah, descend white light. And then imagine red light coming from the earth into you, flowing through you and going up into the infinite. So, and by the way, you should know that that white light is coming from infinity, which is you, by the way, and the red light is coming from earth, and they're kind of mixing together. Okay, and then you imagine them meeting in your heart. They mix and they go out the other ends too, but they do also mix in your heart, and they can create like a sort of centering and grounding, like a crystal sort of thing you can imagine. And this will take very short time. It's taken me a long time to explain. And then you use your pointer finger once that's clear in your head, as clear as it can be, and you go E, and then mid-tone, and then like kind of a little below your sacral area, okay, like this, and you go oh. So obviously not everybody's going to be able to go that deep, but you just high, mid, deep, and that should ground and center you. Okay, as far as the intention, they're saying be calm if you can. As far as the intention though, and that it doesn't really matter at the same time. Okay, thank you. The intention, just literally say it with your full chest, as they say. Say it with your whole chest, okay? Spirit, God, universe, whatever, energies, guides, hear me. I intend, what should the intention, let's just make an intention real quick. I intend for the collective to get extraordinary benefits from this video and the follow-up video. Thank you so much. So mote it be, or whatever you want. Amen. Anything. Something to close it. But you say it as loud as you can. If you cannot speak out loud for whatever reason, you can imagine it, but really the best way is to do it out loud. They're saying clarify the intentions. Okay, and you're not wishing, you're intending. And you are, as much as you can, knowing that the intention is happening. They're saying not going to happen, don't put it in the future. And this is better than just doing an affirmation, like saying these videos help lots of people. Making it an intention first, a clear and strong intention, is better than just doing affirmations, because that way the universe knows to help you with it. Otherwise, it's just your energy, which is very powerful, but you can recruit other energies that can do it faster or more, or target it more specifically if you set that intention. Okay, they're saying if you also work with spirits in general, entities in general, spirit guides, dragons. They're saying dragons will only do specific things for you, but they are very, very powerful, by the way. Spirits, guides, dragons, Pleiadian priestesses, the Arcturians, anything like that that you are comfortable with. Be aware that the Fae are beautiful. They're wonderful fairies, but you probably shouldn't intend to interact with them directly, and you should never say thank you to them. What is a good way to do that is to intend for your higher self to use the proper etiquette and translate anything you want to say to them and that way, because then you can't offend them, because you don't want to offend them, okay? Because they don't have the same morality as us, and they can I say that? Okay, yeah, they will fuck you up. But they also will really help you, so just be careful. You don't have to work with them though. Anything. So yes, set the intention. Is that all for this video? Okay, yes, it is. See part 2 if you'd like. Otherwise, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment down below. Tell me what you think. Get a personal reading with me. I would love to talk to you, and I will see you soon.